Hello, my lovies. Welcome to another episode of Babayaga Speaks. And today I would love to share my perspective and my truth. Come on here to express what I think and how I feel and how I see things, especially on the notion of tiredness, like feeling tired, because I had been feeling tired for quite a while. And of course, if this is something that resonates with you, thank you so much for allowing me to share. This with you on this platform, to channel this with you. And if this is something that does not resonate with you at all and something that you do not agree with, then by all means, please do not take it as something that would stop you from living a full life. Right. So my hope for us is to identify elements, factors, and materials that can propel us to become who we are and not be a resistance against that. So yes, today or the past couple of years, I think half of my life I would say that I'm tired, and I think it becomes more prominent because that's what I'm feeling right now, and that's what I want to really acknowledge and capture and then talk about. Once in every while in Baba Yaga Speaks, I will be referring to uh, the past version of myself for retrospect, and also to identify the pattern and then reprogram it from there. I don't intend to bring out the past just so I could create drama, just so I could have someone to blame, but ultimately to just use it as a tool, to remind myself that I'm not that anymore. I have gotten better from that, and I want to acknowledge that version of me wherein whatever it is or whatever happened during that time, it's not something to feel shameful about, but rather to commend the strength of that version of me. So I want to start off with a definition of being tired, because right now the way that I understand the concept is it is just an is the outcome of something important that has been invalidated or that was denied. Thus, the result is feeling tired. Oh, feeling tired in a sense that I feel very drained, even if I had enough sleep, even if I was eating. And then there's also the kind of tired wherein I do lack sleep and I'm really very hungry. And there's different levels to that. But ultimately, I have noticed that it wasn't really about feeling tired that gets me. It was the judgment and the narrative that comes after that. Because when I was younger, when I expressed that I was tired, I received punishment, I received mockery, and I received um, a beating, you know, beating verbally or beating physically. Um, because what happens is that like say, oh, I feel tired today. And the response would be, you have no rights to feel tired. Don't you know that I'm the one who's more tired? I work 24 hours in a day. I have to take care of you. And then starts listing the different things that the parent has done for the family. Therefore, you cannot complain. Uh, and also the notion that feeling tired is just an excuse because I was just really lazy. That's how it was. That's how it was for me. That if I say I'm tired, and they will just say, No, you're just being lazy. No, you're just making up excuses so that you will not do the things that I want you to do. So, because of that programming, because of that pattern, I no longer express to them that I am tired, but I say it to myself and then also automatically punish myself for feeling such. And thus, I work twice as hard. I do overtime. I stretch myself thin because of the fear of punishment and the fear of being judged as lazy. Because ultimately, I sincerely believe that every one of us has the heart and has the DNA structure that aims to help, that aims to contribute, that aims to serve. Sadly, we have a lot of misalignment and misconception of what those are because other people has programmed us to contribute and help in a way that only serves them without even asking us if that's the unique contribution that we really want to share or to offer to the world. So now eh, that I with courage and with openness I come on here to express this with you. I noticed that me feeling tired, mm, it all comes from the notion that I know what I want to do. I can see what I love doing, but I am not doing them. And even if I were, I'm not putting them as a priority. What I want and what I envision for myself is to put my passion and my excitement and my love for who I am to be front and center, not the other way around. Because right now, I do hold a job where, if I have to be honest, um, it's not something that I want to be front and center in my life. I'd rather have that job as a secondary job and then prioritize who I really am. You know, being Babayaga, spellcaster, and everything else that aligns to that persona. Right. But then there's also a fear that if I don't hold a job, now what's going to happen to me? What's going to happen to my son? We're gonna be homeless, we're gonna be hungry, and we're gonna die. But that is not the reality that I envision to create. And that's why I come on here and express as boldly as I can that I want a life where who I truly am is front and center. That every time I interact with people and give value, add value, contribute and help, and just give support and love and light and everything else in between, I want it to be mainly because of my alignment and my truth, as opposed to being, in a way, forced or programmed to do something because that's what's expected of me or that's what's demanded from me. And my hope for us is to continuously train ourselves to be in alignment of who we are. And I would really say, or I would really use the word train to actively, intentionally reprogram ourselves because I had been programmed via fear. I had been programmed to not see my own worth. I had been programmed to live life only according to what society deems good. That's very prone to being abused, being manipulated, and I have been abused and manipulated before. But that's the thing. I have the ability to see that now. And now I understand that I have a choice. I can make decisions to acknowledge that version of me and to commend her for doing the best that she can to survive. But it doesn't have to be like that anymore. It doesn't have to be like that until the day that I die. There is a way where I can place my calling front and center. There is a reality where who I am is the reason why I have money. There is a reality where who I am is the pathway to success. And not because I just really work hard, or not because I've stayed so long in a company that I get retirement plan from the government, or not because, I I work so hard and I just receive what I believe is, the minimum wage or above average wage, because I'm not here for wages. I'm not here to just hold a job. I am here so that I can live life fully, to overcome the fear, to embrace fully who I am, to go through things even if they're uncomfortable and I'm just so afraid. But I would rather go through life, being uh, scared of going out of my comfort zone than to see myself on my deathbed and regret that I didn't do something so daring and give myself the chance to live the life that I know I want and I know that I deserve. So, despite me feeling tired, I stopped what I was doing earlier and come on here and inject a piece of who I truly am, to remind myself that when I get tired, I want to realign myself to who I really am, so that uh, when I'm tired, I know I can still do something about it. When I'm tired, I want to capture it, sit down with it, and really identify what I can intentionally, actively do about it and not just show it off. I'm tired. Okay, do you need sleep? Do you need food? Do you need to go out to breathe fresh air? Do you need to finish a task? Or do you want to pause a task? Or do you want to come on here and have a recording like this to help me reprogram my system without invalidating that version of me that used to just keep on going despite being tired? And for me to identify that I don't have to judge myself anymore when I do feel tired. I don't want to label myself as lazy and just complaining because I feel tired. I don't want to be the version of me anymore that hates myself for being tired. I want to continue to be my very own best friend and be the most supportive entity I could have for myself. And my hope for all of us, should this resonate with you, that the moment that you feel tired, you might want to check what programming comes to mind or comes up, and then you might want to sit down with it, because being tired is a very good indicator that something is not as aligned as your soul would have hoped for. And that's an opportunity to sit down with it. So observe that when you feel tired, do you judge yourself? Do you hate yourself? Do you mock yourself? Or when you feel tired, do you listen to yourself and accommodate yourself and go through it as gently, lovingly, and kindly as possible? So, what I am doing right now, despite being tired, is to honor my tiredness and just tell myself, like, Babayaga, thank you for reminding me that I do get tired. Thank you that there are things in my life that are not as aligned. I want to acknowledge them, and I want to remember the gifts, the choices that I have to do something about this feeling. And I don't want to hide, and I don't want to cover myself anymore. I don't want to bury myself alive. So, yes, that's about it for today. Thank you so much for joining us in Baba Yaga Speaks. And Hamsala.